Nuclear Clown TV is live and on the air. I'm Dave, your correspondent. I'm out here in the trenches, soaking up all this glorious, glowing atmosphere to bring you shit, to talk about stuff with you, because you're my buddy, you're my friend, right? All my nuklings and my nuclets out there, you're what I live for. So take care of yourself. In the trend I have of reviewing stuff that's been out for like a year, today I'm going to talk about Inglourious Basterds. You see, well, first let me say something. I started this YouTube account not too long ago, so I had a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about that was kind of outdated, but there are some new movies coming up that I will be seeing, so I will be leaping headfirst into 2006, and trying to give you some stuff that's just a little bit more up to date, and more helpful reviews than stuff that's already out on DVD. So bear with me for just a little while, and yeah, we'll do stuff. I promise. You and I will go out. We'll get some ice cream. We'll sing a song or something. It'll be great. Inglourious Basterds. Quentin Tarantino is a really obnoxious fuck. I mean, when I watch his interviews on TV, I kind of want to choke him. And as for his movies, with me at least, it's kind of hit or miss. I haven't watched them all. I actually haven't seen Pulp Fiction, and I know that that's a huge thing, and everybody looks at me like I have lobster claws when I say I've never seen Pulp Fiction before. But that's okay. We're still buds, you know. I understand. But Inglourious Basterds, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I did like it. But there were some things that I thought prevented it from kind of being really good, in my opinion. The Nazis, you know, they're all scared and all quiet and subdued and awed by these Americans who are so brutal that they hit them in the head with baseball bats and carve swastikas in their forehead. These are Nazis. Bad dudes, man. You're not gonna out crazy a Nazi. I'm sorry. I mean, it's kind of like beating Satan in a gross out contest. They're Nazis. You'd think like, whoa, what happened to this guy? Well, they carved a swastika in his head and let him go. They let him go? Pussy. Oh, they bashed his head in with a baseball bat. Ooh, you know, they're Nazis. I don't know. They're kind of like the ultimate bad guy. It's like if Darth Vader was like freaked out by seeing like a dead Ewok or something. That was, you know, it was minor, whatever. But to me, it was almost a little bit silly. This group, the bastards who go around killing Nazis, they don't really flesh them out too much, and it was probably intentional on the filmmaker's part, because really the movie really isn't about them. They're more like sort of in the background of all this other stuff that's going on, which I don't mind. I didn't mind that. But I did mind that they kind of all looked exactly the same, and I mean, if there's gonna... It's almost like, well, there should have been like 4 of them then. Because to me, they all looked the same, besides Brad Pitt, the big blonde, you know? Yeah, so kind of hard picking them out. There, they didn't do much to flesh out the people, so if you're not going to flesh out many of the people, make less of them, so you don't really have to do as much work. I don't know. But again, they're not a main focus of the movie, which is kind of hard to talk about it and say, oh, well, it wasn't that important when the fucking movie is named after them. You know, it's like watching Caligula, and he has like a walk-on role as like a bartender or something. Yeah, so I would have liked to see them flesh them out a little more, because the movie, it's really long. It's a long film, and they could have done it, and it wouldn't have taken that long. But you don't really get attached to any of the characters. And Brad Pitt's like G.I. Joe over the top American portrayal. Nazis, we're killing Nazis. Listen, you got to do a little more than that to kind of convince me you're from the South. Nazi, Nazi, Nazi. I get it. All right, that's funny. He said Nazi. And was it supposed to be that way? Was that the way it was intended? It's a Quentin Tarantino movie, so you can never really tell. But if it is supposed to be kind of tongue-in-cheek, over-the-top American gung-ho, I get that. But there's one problem. The bad guy in this, the antagonist, the Nazi, I don't know his name, but the main bad guy does such a phenomenal job, and he does such a great, competent bad guy performance. I mean, it's extraordinary. He did a really good job, and it was very, very serious and very, very well done. So if you're going to do the tongue-in-cheek thing, to me, you kind of can't have a super serious, capable adversary, because it sort of undoes what you're trying to do. I'm all for over-the-top movies. Believe me, I'm not like a cinema snob or anything like that. You may tell by my general lack of grooming that I'm not a snob about much of anything. But if you're gonna make that, and you're gonna have your it be a kind of campy almost thing with the over-the-top Americans and the over-the-top Nazis, you can't kind of pick and choose, you know. And the bad guy's performance was great. I wish I knew his name, but I don't come prepared for much of anything. The acting was really good. It was long, but it wasn't annoyingly long. There's a lot of movies that, you know, it's kind of a rule now in Hollywood that if you want to be taken seriously, your film has to be about two and a half hours minimum. And Inglourious Basterds is about that, but I think it's good. It was long, and it should have been long. There's a lot of subtitle reading, which I think adds to the movie and doesn't really take away. And it's got its, you know, the Quentin Tarantino, like, he's become formulaic, probably has for some time. I don't know, I haven't seen all of his movies, but I would imagine they're all the same. Scene opens, people have dialogue, there's something going on in the background, conversations that don't have any relevance to the story, just people shooting the shit for an overextended amount of time, the officers having the soldiers having their little party and being wild, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on for about 5 minutes, and you're like, where is this going? And then there's just a flurry of violence and everybody's dead. And it's supposed to be really in your face, and, you know, like out of nowhere this blinding flash of, you know, of violence happens, and it's supposed to make you go, wow, that was impressive. And you know what? It is impressive the first couple of times you see it. And he does that in this too. I don't think he overdoes it, but in every movie you can kind of pick out the scene. You know, there's going to be the dialogue that seems like it's going nowhere, and then boom, everybody blows up. So yeah, he does that in this. Good movie. And hearing David Bowie's Cat People in a movie theater, me likey. That was really nice. That was a very nice touch, I thought. I did like Inglourious Basterds, and I think that if you have the chance, you should see it. You'll probably like it too. Did I think it was great? No, I thought it was. I thought it was good. It could have been very good. The bad guy's performance was just outrageous. Brad Pitt, I think, didn't do really a good job, but then again, he's not in the movie that much, so does it really matter? I mean, he's kind of a supporting character anyway, but the movie's named after his kind of group. And Mike Myers is in it, strangely enough, and he's got all the makeup on, and he plays an English, like, officer or something, an older English officer, and he's got all the makeup on, but you know exactly who he is, and you say, oh, Mike Myers, English accent, hey, Austin Powers. I wish I was evolved enough where I could not make that the instant parallel, but it's there, and I wish they got somebody else, because seeing it, it's sort of distracting. He's in it for like 5 minutes. I'm nitpicking now, but yeah, Inglourious Basterds, man. Hey, they misspelled it wrong because it's artsy. Maybe I'll be Nuclear Clown, CLOUN, with the two little dots over the U, the two little dots. That's about it. That's my review. Oh, and you know what? Also, real quick, I saw that movie The Box in the movie theater, and it was the shittiest movie I've ever seen in the movie theater in my life. I'm not going to go into it. It's not worth it. It's so bad. It's so bad. I will leave you with this. In the movie theater, Cameron Diaz at the end of the movie says, Oh, I wish I would have never opened that box. And I swear to you, on everything I hold sacred, this old woman in the theater somewhere says, so do I!